Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we're doing the Selesnya color challenge, green and white. So this one, I actually took a different kind of deck. It's a tribal deck with only a few tribal payoffs, but it's a bit of a brew. I haven't seen anybody else playing this anywhere. And I smashed my way to 7 wins in the constructed event. For those who don't know, the color challenge is I try to get every combination of colors to win a deck with every combination of colors to get to 7 wins in the competitive event on MTG Arena. And this is the deck that did it in green-white. I do the color challenge on Twitch. I play it live, so if anybody wants to watch it over there, you are certainly welcome to. And then I show the winners on Arena. This was the winner, and I'm still... it was a really fun romp that we had. It took on red decks very well. It applies a huge amount of pressure. There was an epic game against another white deck. This is Knight Tribal. We have Dauntless Bodyguard, we have Knight of Grace, we have Benalish Marshal, we have Knight of Autumn, and we have Conclave Cavalier, which is actually a really tough thing to deal with if they don't have exactly a lava coil. And it did a really good job for me. To round the deck out, I have Flower Flourish, so there's even more ways to make the knights huge, as well as make sure that my mana is in good shape. We have an Ajani, our bro, our adversary of tyrants, our motivational speaker, to keep the knights inspired. We have Conclave Tribunal to remove some things. We have Baffling End to remove a lot of things, since there are a lot of cheap creatures in the format. Some people on stream often said I should play Seal Away instead, but Baffling End is much better because we want to be attacking the opponent, and Seal Away doesn't help us do that. We have to get attacked for Seal Away to matter. So, then we also needed one more 2-drop. I went through a lot of ideas, like Tithe Taker, but in the end I sided on Thorn Lieutenant. Thorn Lieutenant isn't a knight, but it's a very good speed bump, something that the opponent has to go through. It scales into the late game, which is something most of the cards in this deck don't do. So, example, if it's turn 7 or 8, we don't have anything that, without help, is bigger than a 4/4. But Thorn Lieutenant can become a 6/7 if you have a lot of mana lying around. And instead of like a Tithe Taker, I just wanted a little bit more toughness. I don't know why it played out better, but if you want to run something like Tithe Taker in the spot, or if you want to stick to just the Knight aim, you can run something like the Knight of New Benalia, or something ridiculous like that. Maybe Amara is what some people would want to run in the spot, but this was the bro who helped me out. This was the dude who got me there. So this is the deck. Nothing fancy or unexpected in the mana base. Very straightforward, but able to put a beating on things. Let's go play it, see how the deck does. This hand is pretty much what you look for. Bunch of cheap dudes. I wonder if I'm going to use the flower. I guess I may as well since I go first. I could also just play the land and save it for later though. And the reason I might save it is because if I draw a bunch of lands, we'll need an Anthem. So I'm going to save it for now. We are fighting the Legion. Hello to the Legion. Legion has a turn 1 Llanowar Elf. Okay. Trying to think if our opponent plays something like a Midnight Reaper, the Knight of Grace is pretty good, but I think that's very optimistic. What else could be played? If there's a 4/3 Jadelight Ranger next turn, nothing can attack through it. I think I will run out the Knight of Grace just in case we get that black card out of the opponent. We get that American Express black card on the battlefield so that we can pump our Knight of Grace, right? So this is where we bluff, I think. But I'll start with this because it holds priority and it makes the bluff look more convincing. And yes, the opponent does not want that damage. It's unfortunate that we're playing against Wild Growth Walker in our very first game. It is definitely one of the harder matchups that we could run into. And we didn't draw a Baffling End or a Conclave Tribunal at this point. We don't have the same explosive power as the white aggro decks to go over the top of these type of things. So, not a good place to be. Also, we have none of our anthems to this point, but maybe that will change in the near future. Well, the opponent did not play something... They did not play an Explore card. That is a positive. And they're holding up mana, likely a cast down, but they cannot cast down the Knight of Grace. And casting down the Thorn Lieutenant is not a good strategy. Does our opponent just set up a finality and wreck us with it here? Probably. Well, I'm going to use this flower now that we haven't drawn another land. Usually what you want to do are get more planes, as Banalish Marshal is an important card, but you want double green for the Cavalier when it comes up. So as long as you have double green, there's no problem in getting more planes usually. I'm trying to decide if I want to play out more creatures or not. Finality is a pretty big problem, but so is a Vivian Reed. Yeah, I think I have to play out more creatures to cover a Vivian Reed. So here's a Dauntless Bodyguard. Then we'll go with Conclave Tribunal, tapping the Bodyguards. Our opponent may have an Assassin's Trophy here, but I still think we give this a shot. I know the opponent didn't play an Explore creature last turn, which implies that they don't have a way to take advantage, but you can't expect that to hold forever. Okay. I'll get the Forest, why not? Well, the opponent blocks this time, and yeah, makes sense. I should probably have one Assure Assemble, since it makes knights, which is on theme, and provides a little combat trick to punish people. Yeah, there she is. But that's why we played another creature.
I've seen things that would break someone like you.
I break someone like me every day. It's not a big deal. All right, there we go. It's more of a dig at myself than a build me up, if you think about it. So if I hit all attack, Vivian! Nah, 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 nah. And do I play another creature?
Scars are lessons written in skin. Let's do this again.
Our opponent may have played out Vivian because they plan to play another one. However, a finality would be so devastating. Plus, if I get one more land, I can pump the Thorn Lieutenant. So I think I'll just pass the turn for this one. But obviously, we're basically this matchup is it's not good, my friends. We're just hoping. There's a lot of hope. Nothing else that really matters. Okay, there's finality. Feels so final up in here. Let's play some Thorn Lieutenants. If there's another one, I don't plan to beat it. Don't think there's much hope of that. Yeah, it's pretty great. Pretty great. Let's just not. Let's not anymore. I think you can understand out there that that's well and truly a beating into submission. Wow, I run these in the deck. Sure could have used them last game. That said, this is basically a 4-land hand, with 2 Baffling Ends that I don't know are any good, and a Knight of Autumn. But we are on the draw. I love having removal on the draw. I'll give it a shot. And our opponent's mulled to 5. 4. They also have a fat stack. They play a 70-card deck. This is mono blue. This is mono blue. Mono blue. No, it might also be Merfolk. Let's see. I don't have double green, so I'll get the other green source for the Knight of Conclave. Should I draw it? Okay, Merfolk it is. Baffling End is going to be handy. Hit it. Reads Baffling End. Wonders why the world is like this. Silvergill with... Oh, well, that's pretty good if you mulligan. Silvergill into Silvergill. I wonder if they run 20 lands in their, like, 70-card deck or something, and that's where the mulligans came from. Let's put out something big. Beefcake. 4-3. Just something to battle these little fishies. And look at my deck. It's a control deck. It's all this removal and these, like, Swiss Army knife removal for enchantments and artifacts and life gain. Ways to like 2-for-1. Big flowers like the green-white opt, you know? It's a control deck. Alright, Riverwise Augur in the hand. Another card off the top from the Silvergill. Here comes the Herald. Well, I've got so much removal that I really do want to play the other knight. I don't know if the opponent will block here. It'd be a pretty brave block. Let's go find out. I guess if they trade 2 creatures here, I'm up a lot in the matchup, creature-wise. Yeah, no blocks. Makes sense. Let's drop you. We'll make it a 4-3. Let's go ahead and set up another land because I don't think we don't even have a wide board, even if we did get to the flourish part. So I don't think this is where flourish is very good. River Sneak. I think the success of this deck will rise and fall with how many History of Benalias we draw, as it is the official Knight Anthem. And so far today, we've drawn 0. So, I could play a Tribunal and attack with both. Leaves the opponent with a double block that I don't think they want to make. I like that. I could also play the Baffling End and do that and hold the Tribunal, but I think there's nothing wrong with using more of my mana this turn to play the Tribunal because I may want to do something next turn, like play a Baffling End and a Centaur. Rawr. The opponent's at 16, now they're at 8. They can't take another double. I mean, maybe next turn all we do is Tribunal and Baffling End with 6 mana. Get rid of all the opponent's blockers if they don't leave enough back. And they're not gonna. They're not gonna leave enough back. You maniac. You maniac, what are you doing? Alright, well, we found our lands. And that's the scoop 'em ups. We got Knight of Grace, Marshall, and stuff. Let's go. Let's frickin' do it. Will we draw some History of Benalia? Maybe this game? Maybe. Maybe we will. We'll see. It'd be nice, but we still have a pretty sweet curve. Knight, Marshall, a Johnny, with a Conclave Tribunal for something troublesome. Ooh, our opponent's playing black cards? The Knight of Grace is ready for this, although Adanto is going to be a real pain. Adanto Vanguard is another card I thought about in the 2-drop spot for the Thorn Lieutenant, but the Thorn Lieutenant's better against red and just a better like card right at the end of the game for me. But Adanto can fit that role as well, and maybe should have been the card. I honestly, when I built this deck, I didn't expect it to get I didn't expect it to be the Color Challenge champion for Selesnya. It sort of just rolled in. I remember we had a poll in chat, and it won, and then it just rolled at a whole bunch of red decks and a few white decks, and that was history. So the opponent has the combo: Adano Vanguard, pay life. Paladin of Atonement, every time you lose life on a turn, it becomes bigger. So this is another knight, by the way, you could play in your 2 spot, but it doesn't really synergize with my deck. So I could play the History of Benalia, which we just ripped off the top. I could also play the Marshall. But if I attack with the knight, it will grow the Paladin of Atonement. I think we still do it, though. I think we need to pressure our opponent's life total. I'm going to take a heck of a hit next turn, but then I think that the History of Benalia with Conclave Tribunal can help me recover. And if not, Conclave Cavalier can really help too, coming out and basically blocking something, making 2 knights, and then those 2 knights turn around and get pumped by the History of Benalia. It can be a really big attack. Especially when you throw a Benelish Marshal on top. There's another Vampire Knight. Pumping other vampires. This is gonna get scary, my friends. At least you pumped my Knight of Grace. It's first bonus. There just aren't that many black permanents around. I think black's been the weakest color for some time now. The best black cards are Thought Erasure and Finality, which are not completely black cards. Holding back the Paladin. I like it. Still growing. Okay, our opponent did pay 4 life to grow the Paladin. Wow. Wow, that's aggressive, you guys. Okay, now I have to figure out if that Cavalier is the right play, or if I want to Baffling End or Tribunal that Paladin of Atonement. My opponent's at 10. It's a pretty low life total. I think I just play the Cavalier and have a blocker, and then turn around and have an absolutely monster turn. Editor, remove my coughing. Ugh. So while I was away, our opponent read Conclave Cavalier and sized up their attacks. And, I have stabilized the board. Nobody's coming over anyway. So, we're definitely getting in there. If I take the Legion Lieutenant off the battlefield, the opponent doesn't have many good blocks. But if I take the 5/5 off the battlefield, they have like pretty much no good blocks. Let's go for... It's interesting because we can Baffling End before combat, and then Conclave Tribunal after combat with the Vigilance creatures. Or we can just Conclave Tribunal. I think I'll do the Baffling End line. By the way, our opponent with 4 mana available... A little scary. Is it Settle the Wreckage out of a vampire deck? It could be. Let's try to grab this Paladin. I don't trust it. I really don't trust it. And our opponent's at 10. Does this have Vigilance? It does. I so don't trust it. Yeah. We'll just dial up a little bit of pressure. Just a little. Because if they don't have it, I think they're still so far behind they can't accomplish much anyway. And if they do have it, we don't want to throw everything away. Okay. Cool. Weird. Is it a Wrath? Is it a Cleansing Nova? It's a Kaya's Wrath. Okay. It's another way to do it. Let's beat him down.
You are capable of more than you assume.
We could have also got back the Knight of Grace, but I like getting the extra damage in there because now the opponent's life total, it's a lot of pressure. Like being down to 4, they have to block both of these if I get them pumped again. Yeah, the Conclave Cavalier really did work on that one. Good job, Cavalier. Making those 2 knights. Revival. Gonna bring back a Nadanto. Gonna play a Kayaya.
Somebody bothering you? I'll make them suffer.
Alright, that's going to be lethal. Kaya can mine us to get rid of a token. But then we will remove the blocker, plus the remaining token. That will do it. When Kaya gets around to it. Opponent's really thinking about it. If they go up to 6 instead, it's the same thing. Okay.
Now it's dearly departed.
Alright. Kaya takes some creatures out of the graveyard. Guess I didn't have to do that. BMs.
Strength is born of struggle.
Yep. Good game, opponent. The knights came, they saw evil vampires, and they bashed. It was actually Clash of Knights, Vampire Knights versus the more human variety. Yep, we can try this out. Looks fun. You also know the Sweet Knight tech? So, we drew 2 forests, which is unfortunate, because we have Benelish Marshall in hand. So we're going to need another white source, and there's only 2 more basic forests left in the deck, so hopefully we're done drawing those. Uh-oh. I mean, anytime I see an early growth spiral, I think of all the wacky combo decks, and how I'm probably not very well suited to battle them. But we'll give it a try. We will give it a try. I'm having a day without red. I don't know if I've ever gone 4 games in one of these events without running into a red deck. Whoa, you and Growth Spiral? That voice line does so much shouting. Alright. Opponent might have like a Ravager Worm or something. I don't know what's going on, but let's attack it.
Ain't the first time I've been knocked about. Things are about to get real rowdy.
What's it gonna be? Hydrate Crassus, cool. At least it's something I can kill with a baffling end. Alright. Yep. Baffling end that. And unfortunately we're flooding out. It's getting pretty nasty. All attack, make it Domri, kill that thing.
Oh please, sir, give me some more. I'll be back after I've licked my wounds.
Heh, Oliver reference, musicals. I get that. Please, sir, may I have some more? Oh boy. It's a Mega Crassus deck. Of course it is. So, that doesn't really do anything about this. It's so big. It's the biggest thing on the board. I have to draw like a Conclave Tribunal. So be it. I think we lost this one. Oh my god. What is happening? Life every time a creature... Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty good. 37. So much beef. Alright. So we may as well play this out because this says that you can't cast non-creature spells. So I don't expect to run into anything for the Night of Autumn to kill anytime soon. Let's just hope they run out of stuff to do. Nope, that... Oh god. Not like this. Oh god. Deck working as intended. Oh lord. So gross. I think the opponent has adequately gone over the top of our flooded, worthless draw. I think they've done what they came to do. Ow. What, you can't kill me? Maybe you should try harder. Alright. Yeah. Why not? Deck looks fun. Nobody's asked me to brew around this card. Nobody's even mentioned it to me. I often forget it even exists. There. Now it's exactly lethal. And does the opponent want the BMs? No, they got class. Bravo, good sir. The YouTube for you. Well, we have to draw a white source, but I think we keep and hope for it. Are we finally playing a red deck? We are not. Man, I bring a deck that's good against red. We don't play it. I'm not complaining. It sounds like I'm complaining. I'm not. I'd rather lose to that frickin' Nikia of the Old Ways deck like 20 times before even play against another red deck. Although, that loss to Sultai, that wasn't very fun. I would not prefer to lose to Sultai very often. It just feels like everything is taking forever when Jade Light Rangers and Wild Growth Walking is happening. Well, there's something I can Baffling End. So the Gates matchup is also not the happy, you know. I'm not happy to be in this spot. But we're not a terrible deck against them. Should I get the Benalia going, though? I don't think I'm in a proper race. I think I really should avoid taking too much damage. I could also play... No, I can't play like Knight of Grace and then play Conclave Tribunal. It's probably okay though if I take one hit just to have a better battlefield. So let's get it going. If our opponent does play something like a Guild Summit, we can Knight of Autumn to remove it and Conclave Tribunal the Ram. Although Conclave Tribunal is better if I save it for something else. Anyway, there's the Summit. It's happening. I said save it for the Ram. What I mean is the Colossus. The Colossus is the best thing to Tribunal, and the Baffling End is good for the Ram. Unfortunately, I can't play both this turn. I'm in a bind. So we'll play you. We will destroy this thing. And we'll grab this thing and hope the opponent has another or a Hydroid Crassus for the Baffling End. And we'll start getting some punches in. We have a history that's about to go off. That's the good news. The bad news is Gates Ablaze. But I think we have to go for it. I don't think there was another safe way to play that. I mean, Deafening Clarion for you really aggro-averse jerks. You know, that's a card too. So I used to find gate decks interesting. I'm definitely over gate decks too. I don't hate them like I hate Sultai mono red or mono blue, but I don't enjoy them. I get no pleasure from it. The last time I had a good time against a gate deck, they played Omniscience. Like I can deal with that. That's pretty cool. But like, if you're the Colossus, Gatebreaker Ram, Deafening Clarion, Gates Ablaze, la la la, I'm pretty over that, to be honest. It's just no offense, I hope, but I don't enjoy your deck, and I'm definitely not going to sit through it if I'm losing to showcase it on YouTube. Not my plan. I don't owe that to anybody, but I try to do it when I see interesting things. I am telling you right now, you out there, your gate deck, probably not that interesting. Hydroid Crassus, yep, wow. Let's get that off the battlefield. And get some punches in. So, more Hydroid Crassus, or what? This is that phase of the game where everything is a tragedy. Yep, that's enough for a me. They have a full grip. There's no way we can do enough damage. The Flower Flourish doesn't help enough. So we're going to finish this one on a 2-3. I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. I was stunned the deck did as well as it did last time. And we didn't play any red decks, which is what the deck has a really, really good matchup against. To try to go out on a happier note, I'm going to play a bonus game. We'll see what happens. Whoa, what? 2 history of Benalias? That never happens. It's slow, it's on the draw. It has 2 histories. I keep anyway. What? Red deck. Liliana has the face? Okay, cool. And I have a slow hand. No, come on, Thorn Lieutenant, where are you? Oh no. It's gonna be one of these red decks. The kinds that can't decide if they should attack or sacrifice themselves immediately. Hey, you heard me call. You came. You do love me. We're going to need a green source for the Cavaliers. If we get that, we should be in really good shape. Oh no, Steamkin, and I don't have Baffling End. Green source though, like a boss. So, what you gonna do when Thorn Lieutenant runs wild on you? Probably not worry too much, to be honest. Does this in the Crawl Harpooner use the same darn weapon? What makes this a lieutenant, not a harpooner? Yeah? Up? Yeah? Alright, we're gonna kill it. That's the plan. Just gonna moida the thing. Okay. Are you 2 for 1-ing? Maybe. Let's see what happens. Okay, sure. 1 micro play at a time. We're getting there. We're getting to my demise. What excuse? You've been loving Magic since '83. Surely. I know, the red turns are complicated. I'm coming off mean. I don't want to be. Benalia. So this is a scary and painful turn, because when we get to play our Cavaliers, those will pretty much gum the board up, but this turn is a scary one. And if the opponent doesn't remove the Steamkin, I'm very likely to block it rather than let my life total get too low. Oh, but they offer a trade instead? Yeah, I think I'm supposed to block the Steamkin and just preserve the life total. This way the Steamkin also can't minus if we're doing something like an Experimental Frenzy here. We can always hope the opponent minuses their Steamkin anyway. Chain Whirler. Ouch. But wait. Alright. Alright, I was picking on them for how long they took. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You should have taken your time and played your Fanatical Firebrand. What can you do? Can't do it for them. If I had a chat, if I had a little chat here, maybe I could let them know. But all I can do is give them the oops. They probably have no idea what I'd be talking about. So, not gonna do that. Yeah. This is a really... This is a card that red decks do not like. They do not like things that die and grant big benefit. Their whole plan was to make your stuff die and smash through. Clock's running. You drew 5 lands. You almost lost the game. Either you have Experimental Frenzy or you don't. If you have Frenzy and you drew 5 lands, you're fine. If you draw 5 lands otherwise, toast. Easy blocks. So the opponent's plan is Chain Whirler now is going to take over and run this yard. What they don't know is there's another Cavalier. Oh, Dub's Chain Whirler. This is going to get tough, especially if I don't draw a removal. So I could get another history going. I could play a Knight of Autumn, but none of those block the Chain Whirler, and another Cavalier does. So Cavalier is the play, even though it's not as mana efficient. But something has to block these Chain Whirlers, besides just a big horde of Knights. Next turn's likely History of Benalia and another Thorn Lieutenant. And another Steamkin off the top. Not the strongest of top decks, although it gets a lot worse if our opponent draws Frenzy. So, We got Dauntless Bodyguard, can protect the Cavalier. That's pretty good, because if we attack in and the opponent blocks it with the first strike, we can kill at least one of their first strikers. We also have Thorn Lieutenant, Issue Benalia. We probably want the Benalia to start ticking. We're at 11, so the Knight of Autumn gaining life isn't that big of a deal. Thorn Lieutenant's really good if we draw another land, so maybe I want to play that over the Benalia. Anyway, let's bring out the Dauntless. It's a pretty tough turn. It's a little bit complicated, but I'm definitely going to try to trade the Dauntless for the Chain Whirlers or anything the opponent might want to block with as quickly as I can, because Fanatical Firebrand or another Chain Whirler nullifies the card. And I've decided on the other history. Now I'll definitely top deck another land because I didn't play the Thorn Lieutenant, but I like getting the history ticking more than I like that. And look, it is another Chain Whirler. Let's pitch the Bodyguard in response so that for the turn we have an indestructible blocker. That will get the opponent to not attack. Or at least they should not attack. You don't want to attack the indestructible. No, don't do it. Oh my god, don't do it. No! No! Alright, so do I block the other Chain Whirler because? No, I'll go to 7 because I have Knight of Autumn. Oh, so mean. Alright, Baffling End off the top, clutch. Give me that. Give me that, give me that. Away with that. We'll play the Knight of Autumn after combat, but I'm sending in the house right now. Look at that vigilance. Down to 6 life. And that brings the scoop as we go up to 11 and have a history going off next turn and an overpowering board. Thank you for watching this video. I don't think Selesnya Knights is a truly competitive deck, but it can be a very fun deck, and just checking out the build and some of the cards in it, I hope it was a good experience. The Cavalier, basically the white, green, guild card, I really like playing with those guild cards. You might not think so, because you don't see me play True Fire Captain or Night Veil Predator often. But it's fun to build decks around them, and that's basically what I was trying to do with this deck, is build around the Centaur. So if you really like that card, and if you want to do something different in Selesnya than the usual token stuff, something tribal perhaps, hopefully you can do this. You may want to try some unclaimed territories instead of forests to cast these knights easier while also playing Benelish Marshal. So that would be my recommendation for the deck. And as always, thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment. You can also support the channel on Patreon for special perks. Links are in the description. Our sponsors are HauntedFlower.com and FlipsideGaming.com. Haunted Flower sells officially licensed MTG apparel and accessories, and Flipside Gaming sells MTG cards and supplies. You can save 10% on either site with the promo code CGB, and it supports the channel at the same time. See you next time for another day in the arena. For now, it's me, it's CGB, signing out.